If you use any of it, that's great. If you don't, I'm not going to take any offense.
Dude, I'm going to use it all.
I'm all about it. Can you hear me now?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Perfect. Yeah.
Dude, I like your logo too a lot. You've done a good job.
Dude, you know what? The logo was it was a fluke because I was just like apes and started looking at apes and
Apes?
apes. So it's like it's an ape and you can kind of see it
I
hunched
didn't
over.
notice that.
So you can kind of see the eye,
I can
right?
see it now. Yeah.
And it's just kind of like it's just like kind of a minimal thing, but I wanted something. The name is Fruitstand,
Yeah.
and we're just getting into it.
Yeah. Dude.
So the name's Fruitstand, and it's from the fruit stands that you see.
Yeah.
And I don't, I'm not, I think
I didn't even see the gorilla. That's the thing. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can see what you're talking about. But it just seemed like a pyramid or a cloud or
yeah. Tell me what.
I just love it. Like I think it's abstract. For me, it's abstract. I'm like, oh yeah, and I love how you put things behind it, like when it's transparent and just all the different textures and stuff. It works really well.
Yeah, so you see like yeah, it's what I wanted was like, and we talked about this last time, but if I'm gonna have an agency and you have an agency,
Yeah.
I wanted something that like would brand itself
Yeah.
and potential clients
Yeah.
or potential investors or when we sell the company, whatever, because I want to sell this.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to build something that people are like, dude, it's just a cool brand by itself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
You're doing that, man. Like I look at it, I'm like, man, I got to do more with my stuff. You're just creating content for yourself or making like just brand representation. It's great. You're doing a great job.
well, dude,
Now it's an ape.
now it's an ape.
Now I get it. Now
And now you'll see it everywhere.
yeah.
Yeah. So that was the idea. And fruit stand was because when you see the fruit stands, like just they're usually in like weird corners.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to go out of your way to like, but people usually stop and get fruit.
Yeah.
Like it's fresh.
Yeah.
It's
Farmers markets, dude. It's always the best fruit.
and also at least on the fruit stands in the weird places, it's usually Hispanic people
Yeah.
that are working on them.
Mhm.
Dude, and tell me if I'm wrong, but usually I'm never like I'm always like I don't want to be there. You know, it's like I would hate to be it's you know
working at the fruit stand.
because it's like
It's
a,
100-degree weather.
whatever the weather, whatever condition, it doesn't matter. They're right there.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm like, where do you guys go to the bathroom?
Yeah.
Like, where's the spot?
So yeah, just behind you.
So I think that's cool. And that's
Dude,
where that
that's
name
really
came
cool.
from.
That's really cool. And it's like a la carte a little bit. You get to choose what you want.
Guerrilla marketing.
Yeah.
So that was the other part.
Legit.
I wanted like, when I think of gorillas, they like, I don't know why, but I think gorilla and banana.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like fruit stand gorilla, and it just kind of fell together. And then
I love
the
it.
marketing aspect. So
Dude, you have an eye for branding. You're an eye for design. It looks great. Well, you were like that in high school too. Where you had spray paint and everything.
nah,
Do you do any of that
I
anymore?
don't. I did do some spray painting, but I was better at like the illustration.
Because you were
stuff.
great at that.
But I still like the graffiti aspect.
What is that called again?
Yeah, graffiti.
Graffiti.
Tagging.
There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah. Well, dude, Matt,
Yeah.
this is pretty casual,
I love it. It's just conversation.
but the reason why I wanted to do this, and specifically, I wanted to interview people that I know personally.
Yeah.
And it's because I feel like, and this is for real, I think people look at a Gary Vee, a David Goggins, Andy, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and Casey Neistat, I don't know who else, like big names, and they're like, I'll never be like that, or or a Peter McKinnon, right? Like here's his
Yeah.
temp, right? Like maybe I'll never be like that, or I want to be like that.
Yeah.
And they kind of start getting inspired. But then what happens is, and this is my own opinion, they get inspired, but then they have a creative block, imposter syndrome. They start comparing them. I'll never be like that.
Yeah.
And then maybe like it diminishes their dreams or something happens.
Absolutely.
But then I think that there's other people like you. I'll put myself on that pedestal as well, but there's people like you that I look at and I'm like, dude, they're legitimately killing it. They're crushing it. They're doing something that inspires me or that helps me be great. And I think that example where you're like, that's an arm's reach. Like we went to high school together.
Yeah.
And it kind of makes it easier for the person, the everyday person, to be like, dude, if Matt can do it, if Omar can do it,
Yeah.
why can't I do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I get it. The idea of imposter syndrome, I think that is a huge thing in with creatives. Like I still have it all the time. The problem with social media, it's inspiring, but man, it just kicks you in the butt because you see it and you're like, oh, I'll never reach that. But like that is so good. It's like, well, I should just stop. And I think if you can get out of that sphere and just focus on your own bubble and just like improving, it's like I'm good at this. And every time you're doing something, I just had a meeting with my, I work with a 3D artist, and we've been doing some more 3D stuff at our work. And we were just doing a postmortem on a project, and it turned out good, but left lacking a little bit. And it got approved. The brand was happy, and we were just going over it. I'm like, there's just something missing. It's just not what I want. Like it's not the pinnacle what I wanted, and talking through it, we talked about some of the design elements, some of the lighting, and we're just like, okay, what can we improve on? And I think that's how I look at the world, especially just with my work, is that, yeah, I might not be reaching it now, but I have that sense of, that sense of style, the sense of what it could be. Mm. And as long as you're always just trying to achieve more and just improve yourself, like comparison is the killer of joy, dude. Yeah. Like it is. I've gone years, almost a decade of just comparing so much. I have a lot of feelings about social media. I have a lot of feelings about how people portray themselves that isn't reality, but a lot of people look at it as it is, and it's just damaging to society. But if you can just focus on yourself and what you're good at, because you come in at a certain level, right? And every year you're just getting better. You're always getting better, but it's hard to see, especially when there's somebody that you're just like, oh my gosh, that's how I want to, I want to be like that. But it's such a slow process. You can't be great overnight. You can't perfect your art overnight. It takes years. I talk to my kids about this. It's like, I'm almost 40. And I'm just like, and I'm still just striving to be better. And I think it shows. I think I've improved year over year, but it's a conscious decision to be better. I'm inspired by those around me. My brain goes crazy too. I don't know what to focus on sometimes. And I have to kind of backtrack and, recenter my focus. But yeah, dude, a lot of inspiring things online, but it can make you feel like shit. Yeah. And I think that's normal. I
am happy that you brought up the Instagram and the fakeness and all that stuff. I don't know if you know this, maybe you did, but I had my old Instagram account deleted.
What? No, I didn't.
I won't get into or I'll tell you off the red why.
Yeah.
But it was a wake up call for me. Mm-hmm. Because, like, imagine, you get an email from Instagram that says, hey, your account has been disabled.
Yeah.
For 180 days. And then after those 180 days, it's like, hey, your account is officially deleted and it's gone. And I'm like, and,
what? I gotta tell me after.
Yeah, I'll tell you. It was
that's disheartening. It's rough.
Because it was 10 years of building something. Mm-hmm. Photography, network,
it's all gone.
And people use the Instagram as either a work portfolio, a brand portfolio,
and that's even more so.
Or some people fake a lifestyle, right? Luckily, I didn't. But the wake up call was two things as a creative. Number one, if you're good enough, your Instagram account doesn't matter. Yeah. You can rebuild, mm-hmm. and if you have work and receipts, then you should be able to move forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Number two is it's like you ever done a cold plunge?
I haven't.
But you've been
I know exactly. Yeah, I know what you're talking
about. The whole
it sucks your body back into.
Yeah, it's like when you realize your world does not revolve around.
Yes.
It's it was really good. And I actually, when that all happened,
Mm.
I had my YouTube and Instagram taken down, and
Sheesh.
I remember just like it was really good for me to take. I took 30 days, maybe 60 days, I can't remember, but I was like, it feels good to just like not care what people think, and like what you said, to focus on what my craft is and what's important. And I think like, what am I really going to contribute?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm going to be on this thing posting, like what's the point? Like,
You're right.
what should I really do?
Yeah, yeah.
I have a quote
I'm
for you.
sorry, dude. That's rough.
Nah, dude,
That is rough.
it was good. I'm so, for reals, like, I'm happy it happened because it was a wake-up call in so many ways.
Yeah.
Number one, like, for anyone listening, um, a business lesson, you never know if you piss off the wrong person, whether you're right or wrong, you don't know what kind of repercussions that might have.
Mm-hmm.
In my case, my shit got taken down.
Yeah, dude.
So, um,
Social media is a little hostile.
it's like, but I love it. And I mean, here we are talking about it,
Yeah,
and this is
absolutely.
going to be on social media.
Yeah.
I have a quote,
Yes, I'd love to hear it.
and I want to know what you think of it. It's not even a quote, it's just a philosophy that I think about,
Mm.
and I teach it to my team, and just something I believe in, which is you can't teach creativity.
Hmm. Hmm. Dude, I love that. So I'm a product of film school. I went to film school, but my interest in video film content started when I was a kid. I was doing stop motion videos. I was always had a camera. Was filming little movies with my friends. It was always an interest. Um, but it's interesting that I took a job. Um, oh man, it's over 10 years now. But are you familiar with Jane.com?
Yeah, of course.
Jane.com.
R.I.P.
Yeah. So Jane.com is it's online boutiques like for clothing for mostly for females, and we grew it a bit more, but it was a marketplace, right, for boutique items. But during that time, I switched from a company that I really liked, but I was looking for something else, and I really wanted to stretch myself, and I was going to get more into strobe photography and just fashion, which is something that I've always had interest in. But a little worried to delve my feet in, but I jumped in. But there was my old boss from Jane.com, and he talked about, he liked to relate creativity to like a spider sense, a spidey sense.
Yeah.
And he was so nice and very complimentary, but he says, Matt, you have that sense. You have the spidey sense, which is you can't really teach. And I think that is true. There's people that are born relatively just creative. They've just interest in drawing, they're interested in painting, they're interested in creating. And that's how my brain has always been. It's always been telling stories, creating images, like music, dude. When I listen to music, I go through this space of just creativity. Like my brain is just going. I'm like, oh, that would be sick. Oh, this would be a cool story. That would be a cool shot. And so I think the spidey sense is a real thing. You can't teach creativity. You can teach the technical, like the foundation of design, or the foundation, like this is a camera, this is lighting, and you can technically get there. But and back to when I was in film school, hundreds of kids are in my program, but you could tell instantly who kind of had it and who kind of didn't. And I'm not saying this to say that if you have a passion about something, you shouldn't go for it if you don't have a sense. Like if you work hard enough and you're technically savvy, you can get there. But in my my career, there's two types of different kind of video guides. You got the gearheads, and then you have the just straight up creatives.
Yeah.
And I would consider myself more of just a creative, like cameras, tech, all the like shiny objects. That's great. But I never focus on that because a camera is a camera. The most important thing is like if you want a beautiful image, it's not the pixel ratio. It's the lighting. Like if you can learn how to light, or you get a sense of how light works, or how it falls on it, or how it should fall on you. And there's all this technical stuff that you can learn about that, but if you just have it, like if you can, so have you seen those the Lola billboards?
Yes. Wait, the blanket, right?
Yes, the
Yes.
blankets.
Yes.
So I know the photographer that shot those.
Okay, sick.
Young gun, uh, super, super just creative. He doesn't have all the technical stuff. Like, at least he didn't. This is about 2 years ago when I worked with him. But he was just learning. But he had the eye, man. Like, it skyrocketed him. Like, he got his work out, started posting it. And even though he might have not understood, his name's Chase. He's an incredible photographer.
Shout out Chase.
Yeah, he's amazing. But I was always so impressed by him because he didn't seem to have like the technical, like we're on set and he didn't have all the gear, but he could sure make those images look beautiful. And that's key. And he just had the spidey sense. He had the sense of like the light should be here. This falls better on here. Just making the images beautiful. And not that you can't learn like creative stuff with lighting, but if you have that spidey sense, you're just kind of born with it. It's kind of weird. Some people have it, some people don't. And I don't want to say that because I feel kind of weird saying that it's like, oh, if you don't have the spidey sense, then you shouldn't do it. No, I think everybody, if it's a hobby, if it's something you want to do, you can learn how to do it. But it's inspiring yourself and your brain needs to just be wired to be able to see things. We all see things differently,
You nailed it. That's why I say that you can't teach it because it's just like style. It's style, fashion.
Yes.
It's like you don't teach you just have it.
Somebody can put on a cap and a t-shirt and look stylish.
Yeah, like
right?
Damn, that looks so. It just jazz, and I'm like, it's clean, right? So shout out Sonia if you see this or hear it. She's my social media gal, and she's a sponge, and I gave her like a random design project just on Canva because I'm like, it's super easy and intuitive. But within like 2 months of like, I'm like, go look at Pinterest, and I see like how she draws little things. I'm like, she's probably got something, and she was curious about like photography. So I'm like, here's a camera, just go out and shoot, keep it on auto, just go out and do the thing.
Yeah.
And now, one of our clients sent the first email that says, hey, this design has been my favorite. I didn't do it. I'm like, wait, for the last year and a half, like all the other stuff, like whatever. I screenshotted it and sent it to her because I keep telling her, I'm like, you have it. I'm like, you have this creative ability to just figure it out. And she's picking it up. Like she'll make a design and I'll be like, hey, that's good, but let's maybe like change the font size or very minor things. And watching her like kind of figuring it out, I'm like, that's what it's about. Because some people might, and this is my opinion, why I think this, some people don't know they're creative until you put them in a position to be creative. Because someone might be like, I don't know, I don't know how to draw or whatever. Like my mom painted me she gave me this painting of me for my birthday. And I was like, holy shit.
It was amazing.
And I'm like, she's learning that she had this skill in her late 50s almost, or she's in her 60s now, born in 62. So I just think like some people don't realize that they have this creative something, self-doubt, whatever it is. So I agree with you on that.
And just to go back to the idea of, I'm always on the outlook just for the young gun, like inspired, hungry artists that are trying to improve. And it's interesting when you start at my age, you start seeing the creatives around me, and there's some that are working nonstop, and there's some that aren't. Like it's hard to get work sometimes, and it's that creative eye is so important. But there's always these little things around it that help with that. I mean, being able to be a good people person, just be able to like easy to work with. You can have all the technical skill and eye you want, but if you can't work with people and you can't collaborate, and if you just have this ego that's just like I way. No, and I think that's what served me pretty well. I can collaborate really well. Like I work with a team of art directors with our video and our design and motion. and I lean on them a lot, and they lean on us, and it's a good collaboration. But if somebody just wanted to have all the say and like it just doesn't work, and I guess that's more in like the agency or the corporate setting. It's like you can have the eye, but if you can't work with people, you're damned. Uh,
because it well,
yeah.
it's a good business lesson for people that are into this. You ruin the team, you ruin the project.
Oh yeah.
It's a bad apple.
Yeah.
And if you're on a project,
You don't
and
need poison the water,
and
man.
you don't want to be the guy that people are like, "Fuck, that guy's kind of."
He's that concept, and the thing is, like, even if somebody's talented, I'd rather not them have them not in the room. I just can't handle it.
Yeah.
It's like, you want to have a safe environment. Creatives need a safe environment to be able to come up with ideas and say ideas. Have a safe environment so you can say things, give ideas. Not saying that it should be fully collaborative on all the project. You should have a leader, somebody that has the vision. But a good leader is somebody that's teachable, that's collaborative, and that can raise those around them.
Yeah.
Right. And so it's interesting to see the creatives I've seen and people I look up to, the ones that I always want to hire or bring on for a project. They're always busy, like because they're doing it. They have it right, and so they're doing it all. And so, and it's like when you open up a job posting, like you get hundreds and hundreds of people. You have to sift through everybody's work. And some, it's there's a lot of creatives out there. There's a lot of people that are wanting it, eating it. I'm not eating it, excuse me, but have that passion to do it and want to be involved and want to be creative. But in my experience, the ones that work well with people, I think it's almost 75% of the job. It's like you will get more work back. You will get called back if you can just be easy to work with, if you can be collaborative, if you can be responsive. Like the idea of running your own business, it's just like you have to wear all the hats. If you're good at making videos or if you're good at design, that's great. But that's just a portion of it. You have to be a good collaborator, get things done on time, making sure you're like on schedule, and just all around an easy person to be with and work with.
You don't want to be a burden.
No, you don't want to be a burden, and you don't want to freaking hold things back. Yeah. Like you want to get called back. Like sometimes we hire some freelance, whether it's a gaff, a grip, cinematographer. It always interests me how they come and they present themselves on set, because instantly within like 15, 20 minutes, they're just like, okay, we're not going to do this again. It's just like they're not jiving. They're not being considerate. You want a happy set. I want a comfortable set.
I was talking to Sonia. I was talking to her about this video kid that I know. I won't say his name. I've hired him a couple different times. One, I hired him when I was building a small marketing team. This is like we are in Orem, but years ago. And then when I started Fruitstand, I hired him on as a freelancer because he was like, I just know he's got good quality. Yeah. But both times, I'm just like, he's the most difficult person, and he knows it. And it makes me sad because I hired him.
You see the potential.
Exactly. I see the potential, and I'm like, dude, we'll work out the kinks, or what sucked was when we would have a shoot. This was the last shoot I did with him. I had to prepare people for him. And I thought to myself, why am I having to prepare people? Why am I protecting my brand over someone that might ruin it?
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because exactly what you said in business, making a commercial for a client, having models, having other videographers, and then you have a dude who's going to potentially ruin everything.
Yes, I don't mess with it anymore.
It just like, and what I find fascinating about a lot of these people is they don't realize it.
Mm-hmm.
They
don't get it.
It's just like, what? And I'm like, exactly.
People skills is hard. Like, they say in job interviews, it's like within the first 10 seconds, the person hiring will know if they're going to hire you or not. Just the way you present yourself. And I think that's a skill like that. I think that's a skill. I don't know what you got to do. Get out, collaborate, go to parties. I think also working in a corporate setting is really helpful.
Yeah.
Like learning how to adapt and how to work with different departments, the marketing department, the sales team, like learning how to take their information, figuring out what they are really wanting and being able to give it back to them in a creative way. It's a skill. It's a skill. Like I'm always surprised on, whether it's a freelancer or whatever, bringing them on set and then they are just the worst. They're the worst to work with. They're the worst personality, and damn, they're good at what they do. But it's like
not worth it.
They're not going to get called back. And I've seen lots of people that have that skill, and they just don't know how to work with people well. And it's hard, and it's challenging. It's like you said, it makes you sad. There's just like, you have so much potential. You can be really good. Just like learn how to like be kind in meetings, be kind in emails.
Do you think it has anything to do with that they're film snobs?
Yeah. So, it's funny you say that. We call it like cinephiles, right? So when you're young, so I know I'm talking like I'm super old.
Well, dude, like kids are starting when they're 15, 16.
When you get into film school and you start getting into breaking down movies and analyzing and all that stuff, it's so fun. Like, I love movies, but I don't look at them like everybody. I break down the lighting, I break down the direction, I break down the blocking, like the story, the structure, the act. Like, it's all just so fun for me. And like a great movie, you forget all of that because you're just so sucked into the film, right? But there is this kind of, art is subjective.
Yes.
It's subjective, right? And I think something I struggled with is thinking that I knew all the answers, or what's a good movie and what's not a good movie. And having such an opinion that you almost look down or belittled other films or what others' opinions on it. And as I've gotten older, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Film is subjective. If you like Transformers, right? If you love that movie,
hell yeah, Michael Bay.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. Is like I used to be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like I can't even watch 20 minutes of that. But honestly, like the subjectiveness and bringing down your ego a little bit and letting people have opinions and let people enjoy stuff. Like I've just realized life is hard as it is, and if you're just trying to make something more important than it really is, in the end, it's a movie. It's fun. It's recreational. But I think people kind of get to this point that they're like, oh, like, I have a better sense of what a movie should be, or I understand things more. And so you kind of put yourself on a pedestal. I've worked really hard not to do that anymore. If people have opinions or different styles, I want to be more open and collaborative and just like, that's amazing. Like, I want to understand why they see the world like that and why they let something like something that I don't find very dynamic or very inspiring, like why they find it so exciting. Like I think it's good to be open. But yeah, when you get somebody that is just stuck in their way and this is the way you do it, I think it screws up the whole process of creative. I'll tell experience. I can't say names, but it's just, I was on set and we were filming a product shot and we had a gaffer in, and a gaffer is somebody that helps with the lighting, right?
Yeah.
You usually have a director of photography. They kind of show their vision, how they want the light, and then they have the gaffer set it, right? Me, the DP, were there and we're talking about a shot and we're just like, okay, let's shoot it like this. We'll achieve it. It was kind of a complicated one, but I've done it so much that I know, but I'm just directing. But this gaffer was just like, nah, that won't work. And we're like, what? He's like, yeah, if you do it like that, you're going to have to do it in post. He's like, I think we're going to have to light it twice and then you can just like composite it in post. I said, no, we're not doing that. Like we're doing this in camera, and like, it's not hard. And we kept on giving ideas. And we went around for about 10 minutes trying to get this one shot lit. And this gaffer just was not collaborative. And he just kind of almost talking down and like, no, that's not how you do it. That won't work. Within 5 minutes, we're like, okay, we're going to do it anyway because we tried your way. It didn't work. Within 5 minutes, we had it set and ready to go. And that's the kind of stuff that gets me a little bit frustrated, I guess. I'd say it's just like there's other people on set. People understand. A lot of people have done this. Just because it's not your idea doesn't mean that it won't work. Like, give a little bit, collaborate, and see if it works.
Yeah.
Those are the hardest types that are just kind of like opinionated and thinking they know best. Dude, like lighting is just wild anyway, and it's so fun. But I could grab 3 directors of photography and they would light something completely different.
I don't know how to do light, but I know like what looks good. The point you just made is what I don't want to let it forget my mind.
Yeah,
you
go ahead.
you just said you said along the lines of don't get offended if they don't like your idea.
Yeah.
The thing I've learned in the corporate world, and I learned it before I went in the corporate world. I had someone say like, don't be romantic about your work.
Yeah.
And like, it took me years to really understand that.
Yeah.
But I totally understand it now. And what I took from it and what I learned, and I've tried to apply it in business.
Yeah.
Where like 2 of our clients, one of them I worked with, sneaker company.
Yeah.
And I said like, hey, what I think is cool. And I remember like, I always say this, what I think is cool is not what you think is cool.
Yeah.
We're different.
Mm-hmm.
And what this person thinks is cool is different. And so like, it's not that my idea sucks or your idea sucks. It's that we just see things different.
Mm-hmm.
The question is like, what are we trying to achieve?
Mm-hmm.
And what's like the direction? And if your idea is better, hell yeah. And because you know why, you can't be like,
yeah,
cry about it.
Yeah. Well, it's what we call that. So in editing, right? Especially if you shoot something, you get all this beautiful footage and you're just like, oh, I want to put that in there. And we call it the golden calf or like the sacred calf. And just because it's a great shot doesn't mean it needs to be in the edit. And I mean, they tell this with like directors a lot, like when they're doing their own films or, editing their own, they tell directors not to edit their own films. They said, have somebody on the outside that can see clearly the story and none of the biases or things that you want included.
That's smart.
Yeah, because we can get hindered on just thinking, no, that has to be in it. Like that shot's gorgeous. But in the end, does it move the story forward? Does it make that sales pitch? Does it reach the end goal by adding that in there? And sometimes we can't see it. And so it's like, don't have sacred calves, don't have golden calves. When you get that footage, you put it in the editing bay and you start cutting it up, take things out that even though you might love, if it doesn't fulfill your final goal, you shouldn't have it in there. There's a lot of editing like that too. Editing is always about momentum. And it's about moving to the next and making sure you don't get stuck. If it doesn't move the story forward, if there's a dialogue scene, if there's a shot, if it's not hinting to the next step, take it out. It just slows it down. Totally, it slows it down and the story will get muddled. And so it's just like, don't have those sacred calves. Which helps a lot, I think.
Yeah, I
can't take it personally.
Cut the fluff.
Yes.
I mean, when we do even content for some of our like clients, I've had to tell who you've met, Christian.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, dude,
guy.
yeah, crazy talented. Sometimes I'm like, dude, don't even bother making this crazy because he'll go like, I'll show you literally right now like this fry post that he made, French fries.
Yeah.
And I'm writing French fries. But what happens is if you can click on it and see like the that's fine. So like all the front,
nice.
every and so it's like something simple, right?
Yeah, I love that.
But what happens sometimes is we'll be making like a video and I'll be like, no one's going to watch this after 2 seconds, 3 seconds. So
that's so true.
So like if I'm like, don't even just let's get it done and let's make sure that the hook that this is good. Yes, we want it to look good, but who's real? Like, let's look at all the stats. And this is what I've just kind of learned.
After
Yeah, I'm like, dude, even all these videos that I've been making, I'm not sending this to my team or I'm like, I'm not going super into the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
What matters is putting the content and the message and getting the reps in or whatever.
Creatives have a hard time sometimes letting that go.
Yeah.
They want it perfect. And a lot of us are perfectionists. But in like, what's the end goal?
Yeah.
And what tweak or change of this, like, how is that really going to impact the final result? And I think that's important. It's just like, cut the fluff. This is our end goal. Make it look good, but like, don't focus all your time on. Don't waste the time. We got to get this out, kind of.
How you said you've always been into film? I think I have a vague memory of that, but I didn't know.
Omar and I went to high school together.
Yeah, we went to high school.
And we were on student council together. Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
Well,
that was the peak of our life.
Dude. But honestly, and now, yes, we are 40.
Mm-hmm.
39.
Yeah, there we go.
That's right, baby. But
I feel so much better.
But yeah, because it's not quite.
Yeah, when it's like 3 weeks for me, and I turn 40.
Well, happy early birthday to you and your twin sister.
It's okay. Yeah, of course.
I find it interesting because in my career path or the way that I kind of approached life, I was a college dropout. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And I made a lot of stupid, wrong choices in the sense of like, I chose a party scene lifestyle versus like a career path, like film school and stuff like that. But now that we're 40, I look around and I'm like, what happened with my peer group? You know, did they level up? Did they level plateau? What happened? And now, you have kids.
Yeah, I do. I have 2 boys.
So like some people that we went to high school with are having their kids graduate.
Yeah, it's wild.
And so, yeah, that like puts things in perspective. Or my young team, I find it's important to set an example of what's possible. So tell me about like who gave you the freedom or like who sparked your like I want to do that?
Did you go in? Yeah, so it started in 93 when I saw Jurassic Park.
Dude,
no, so it's funny. As a kid, I had a love for movies, dude. Like I loved making like for some reason video, the idea of music, pacing, editing, shoot like making like just working with video. I loved it as a kid. It was just something that just sparked my interest. It's interesting, I'll go into this a little bit, but like, so I went through high school. I took, film classes. I did commercials and stuff for this local
I didn't even know that was possible, like in high school. But
well, yeah, but so across from the high school we had the network. Like I was there with like Brady Amundsen.
Yeah,
remember Brady?
Yeah, of course. He made the rollerblade video I have over here.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I was there with Brady Amundsen, with Kyle Shelley, with it was a handful of us, and then we all like video. But in the back of my mind, there was always like a little sense of like, that's probably not going to be for me eventually. And the reason behind that, and I would say it's a lot of my upbringing and my religious background as being raised Mormon, because the most important thing to do, you serve your mission, you get off your mission, and then you need to start raising a family, right? And so I feel like because of those goals of wanting to have a family and wanting that, video seemed like it's just too far of a reach. And this, you got to remember, this is 2006. So I get home. I left 2004, served in Japan. Beautiful. Love Japan still. Got back in 2006. And I kind of came to the realization, okay, I'm going to do business. I'm going to do international business and marketing. It's kind of the main thing. You learn a different language. It's like international business.
Secure the family.
Yeah, secure. And so for the first year and a half, that was kind of my goal. And then YouTube came out. And YouTube changed my thoughts like instantly. And I was like, okay, so I want to do video. Like I've always wanted to do directing, cinematography. And I just thought, well, to do that, I'll have to move out to LA. I'll have to raise my family out there. It could be hard. It's expensive. And then a lot of people that want to work on film sets end up not. And I mean, it's kind of risk. You got to put it in the time, you got to put in work. But when YouTube came out, I was like, I made the connection. I'm like, businesses are going to need video. Like the first thing that websites are going to need is a video explaining. And the data shows people watch video over reading text. And so that became kind of a trendy thing. And that's what got me to do it. And I was like, well, I can do that now. Like, I can do what I love. And so I got my first, I was going to school. I got my first corporate gig with a supercomputing company. I learned how to edit on Camtasia.
Well, I don't even know what it is.
Camtasia, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's still around. I think it is, but it's a screen recording software.
Oh, sure.
Right. So you record demos and stuff, and software demos, and like a lot of software companies use them. And I learned how to edit through that. And then I think Adobe Premiere 5 came out or something, and then my work bought me that, and I was able to do that. But like you, I'm a dropout. I went to school. I know I don't want to.
Hell yeah.
I don't want to get into the educational system, especially for creatives.
Dude, well, here's the thing. I dropped out because I was trying to get, like you, same thing, mission, like get a business degree.
Yeah.
So I was trying to get a business degree, and I was like, well, if I want to start a business, like, why don't
why don't I just do it?
And I took this like business writing class, and the teacher gave me, I think she gave me a B or something over my resume, and my resume was, she said, she's like, you won't get a job with this. My resume was like, it was it was a printed Facebook. It was like, hey, here's my picture.
Yeah.
Here's my about.
Yeah.
Here's some cool stuff. And then the backside was like a collage of my work. And she's like, this is not what companies want to see. I was like, it's my work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, that was the last time I was like, fuck this. I'm done with this, because why am I going to pay someone money who hasn't done what I want to do?
Yeah.
And why do I have to take classes that have nothing to do with what I'm trying to do?
The general ed is just what got me exhausted. And no, but so I ended up going into the film track at UVU, and so I did, my degree was cinema production. But then I got my first job, like outside of the one that I was doing, like learning everything. I got my first job. What really led to that, though, is like, so film school is interesting. And UVU actually has a pretty damn good film program.
Yeah.
And I was there when they were just really honing in and focusing on stuff. I was there at UVSC, and then I switched to UVU.
Oh, yeah.
You were there too. I remember seeing you.
Yeah. All of Utah County was.
But I didn't look at film school like others did. Like and this is bad for networking, but I didn't love to collaborate. See, I talked about collaboration, but I didn't like working on student projects, because in the end, I just knew we were all students, and depending on all the people we're all new, we're all trying to figure things out. The projects that we always make look like shit, just like their student stories. And I wasn't very good at collaborating. I ended up doing projects on my own. I had interest in learning how to do things like fashion commercials. And so I did mock-ups. I did Levi commercial. I did a H&M commercial. And these are just things that I went out, shot by myself. And that was my student projects. And I did that because I knew, like, it's really easy to, like, especially in film, it's like you kind of choose your route, right? You're like, okay, I want to be a DP, or I want to be a camera operator, or I want to be a director, or I want to be editor. I realized fairly early on that if I wanted to make things look good, I need to understand all of it. And so I really honed in on the lighting. I really honed in on camera work, like framing. I really tried to work on my direction. Like, how do I work with models? How do I work with actors? And then editing. I loved editing. And so I really, and I realized then, I'm like, that's what's going to get me a job, if I can be like a Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
And that's the difference. Like, if you want to go do films and movies, like, figure out what you're good at, and go work on set, or go work in a post house. But for me, I knew I wanted to work in a corporate setting. Like, I just knew there's going to be opportunities.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, and so I made that connection. I got my first job. I started traveling a lot, and I was like, I can't keep up with school. And so I made the hard decision, and it was around 2012. And it was around the time that everybody was still like, finish your degree. Like it's like
It's important.
it's important.
You
Like
need it.
you need it as it's a good backup. My professors were even saying that, and they were just saying like, in the end, what's going to be the difference is somebody has the same work as you, portfolio wise, and they're going to decide, is it going to be the guy with the degree or the guy without the degree? Even though they're working, they'll go with the guy with the degree. And that was kind of a thorn in my side for a long time, like worried of like, am I making the right decision? Uh, and I had a lot of supportive friends. I had some supportive family, but it was the right thing to do. It was the right thing for me to step away and just hone my craft and get a job and get better. Like it's true. You don't get good at something unless you're doing it. Like, unless you're really doing it, like figuring it out, like being on set and just, or editing projects. Like you learn so much more just doing real world stuff. And then YouTube became a thing. And YouTube, we're having content creators in the early 2010s that were just teaching people how to color correct, how to edit. And so that became kind of my school, and just being on the job and having mentors around me. That's what really got me. And I, I remember a professor at UVU one time saying, they're like, guys, if you're not building your portfolio now, like while you're in school, it's like, you're not going to get a job. It's like, you can do all the schoolwork, you can get a 4.0, you can do the assignments, but if you're not trying to like build a portfolio, because especially in creative, that's what people look at. Like, dude, when I have interviews and I look at work, I hardly look at their resume. I might look
Honestly, the work they did.
I might look at it and be like, how long did you last in these companies? Like, are you going to be dependable? But then the thing is, I'm interested in their style, like how they can edit, how they can tell a story, how they light, how they direct. Like those things are the most important. And it's interesting because I think we've moved, at least in the USA, like as a society, that creative people in the creative industry, they don't necessarily need a degree to get a job. And I've applied for jobs, and the first thing that they say is like, well, you don't have a degree. And, I'm like, well, maybe I don't want to work for a company like that. Like, see the value. You're good if you're good. And if people don't value that. But once again, it's just not about the work. It's about how you are as a person, like easy to work with it and stuff. But there's two portfolios, the big thing.
You said do you know who Chase Jarvis is? Chase Jarvis, I think I have his book over here.
Dude, I am so bad.
Chase Jarvis is a photographer from Seattle.
Yeah.
He owns this company called Creative Live.
Yeah.
But he has this book called wow, I can't remember. Doesn't matter.
That's okay.
But he said, be where the action is. That's what he always that's a creative calling. Wow, creative calling. That's the name of the book. But in that, he says, like, be where the action is. And he talks about how he was thinking about being a professional soccer player, maybe going into med school, but like just was so curious about photography and ended up going that route.
Yeah.
And I think that's where people learn the most is like, dude, when I never thought I'm looking at all these cameras, like make sure it's all recording and stuff.
Yeah.
I never thought, and this is not what I do, but I think it's just
part of content, man.
It's just you have to be willing to learn. Like what you said, the tool belt is so important because the tool belt gives you an understanding of everything.
Yes.
And actually, Garrick Foy, when you were talking about the fundamentals, it made me think of a conversation I had with him.
Yeah, Garrick.
Do you know that he sold, shout out, freaking congratulations, he sold his company, but he started a tax company called Red Rock Tax.
Okay.
Did you know that?
I didn't know.
And because my family recommended, and I was like, I was like, wait, what? So when I was talking to him, I was like, when did you get into this? Because I was just curious because it's so fascinating, like what people are doing.
For him.
And he's like, it was something about like, I wanted to know where my tax dollars were going. Everyone needs like taxes being done. And then when he talked about how like if I knew how to do all these things, meaning like if I understood the law and taxes and things that were like people struggle with the most, he said I would be financially set for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
And I was like,
100%.
bro,
Yeah.
like I can't believe like the freaking redneck farmer dude was like thinking like that, because I never would, or I never thought like, hey, Matt, the guy from Cover Bridge Canyon
Yeah.
is thinking about the same things I am, but from a different
Yeah.
perspective, right?
Absolutely.
When he said like I needed to know all the fundamentals so I can understand,
Yes.
dude, that was like the coolest thing to hear, because in design, and being a business owner, if I don't know the fundamentals,
Yes.
how am I going to lead someone? How am I going to give advice? How am I? Why should people listen to me if I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Dude, it's exactly right. And I think what did he say? Be where the action is?
Yeah, be where the action is.
So it's interesting. I delved into everything. My first job that I got, the one that I like and made me end up quitting school, was motion graphics. Like I got into design and motion. And because I realized that's an easy way into a corporate setting. Because I'm like, motion graphics were hitting it hard. I don't know how much you can do, like After Effects, right?
Yeah.
So After Effects was just not that it was new, but like it was becoming more mainstream. You were able to watch tutorials online and you learn, and so I learned these tools. I watched a lot of tutorials. I started doing my own stuff. I was like, okay, I love what they did here. I'm going to make it into my own style or whatever, and just learning the tools. And dude, I don't do motion graphics, but I understand them for the most part. I understand kind of the level, like
Yeah.
the possibilities. I'm not great at it, but at least I can talk to a point of like giving direction.
Yep.
It's the hardest thing as a creative, getting direction from somebody that does not know what they're talking about. Like they don't know the fundamentals. They don't know the foundation. And I would say that with even design, like one of my favorite classes in school was the fundamentals of design. That did so much for me. Just understanding spacing, color code. There's more to design than just that. but that was huge for me. So I took that, learned After Effects, and I got my first job. And I slowly transitioned out of that more into kind of cinematography and editing and direction. But those fundamentals that I learned, that tool belt I still use them today. When I work with a motion graphic artist, I know where the limits are. Or if he says something like, I can't do that, they're like, yeah, you can. Like I've seen enough work. I know what people, and I still don't.
I love when that happens, when like we've had a couple times where we know something's possible and we're working with like another designer.
Oh yeah.
And they're just being lazy. And they're like, I don't know if I can do that. And then we're like, all right, we'll just do it then.
Yeah.
It's like, if you won't do it, we'll do it. And it makes them kind of be like, oh shit.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just like I think this is a hard thing about creative. I think it does put you in a position of like being more knowledgeable than somebody and a lot of people depend on creatives to be able to make things happen that they don't understand. But also with that extra like knowledge of understanding like how video works, people can take advantage of that.
Yep.
And you got a lazy learner, like not lazy learner, a lazy worker or somebody that wants to cut corners. It's really easy to be as like the expert in video, be like, yeah, we can't do that.
But you know what? Tell me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Those dudes that you talk about,
Yeah.
they also tend to be the
Dudes
guy.
and gals.
Dudes and gals, yeah. But that's true. Whoever you are. These folks, these people,
these folks.
they tend to be, they weed themselves out of a job because it becomes a pattern.
Yes.
They're the people we're talking about. They're the negative Nancy's,
Yes.
or whatever it is. Their idea is better.
Yeah.
They start rolling their eyes.
Yeah.
Like what? And then
It's like putting him out.
Yeah.
It's like you're putting him out to like ask for a change.
Let me check one thing real quick.
Yeah, you're good. Okay. So, is it rolling?
Yeah, it's rolling.
You want to check the other cameras too?
That one's good. That one's good.
Okay, cool.
I wanted to see. Okay.
Am I moving too much?
No.
Oh, okay.
I didn't format these two cards, so I didn't know how much time was left. But it's got 2 hours.
Isn't that the worst? That's the worst.
Dude.
No, dude. But I love those are the guys that do this is the hard thing. I've seen it with many in the field that I'm in. Your network is small here. Like
Yeah.
the film community is pretty small. I mean, it's robust, but like you start knowing who is doing what, and you can really destroy your network, your opportunities by just being an ass. Like one set, and then you move on to the next, and then it happens again. Like, and I know people that are so talented, like they're so talented, but they're just hard to work with, and they kind of ruin their reputation. And like in this business, it's like you can only give so many chances, and and the thing is, you want things to be smooth. You want to enjoy work. And so you're working with somebody that's always like dragging their feet. And it's like, okay, I can do that. And yeah, you gotta be hungry for
Yeah.
and willing to change and adapt and collaborate.
You said we'll probably, and I'll go over this, but
Yeah.
the couple things that are to know. Number one, the best creatives or the people are that you want to work with,
Yeah.
always booked.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's key because it means that your work is good and people want you.
Yeah.
So that's key. And that's something that I just read it in this book by Alex Harmozy about agencies. It's like the best agencies are the ones that are always booked out because people want that work.
Right.
And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
The other part, which is space my mind, doesn't matter. But
Yeah.
I want to ask you the transition part, meaning at what point did you realize you're like, holy shit, I'm actually doing the thing I set out to do?
So, it's interesting. I think it came early in my career. Like, I worked for a company called Unicity, and it was run by a director that did a really good job building talent, bringing talent in. And I think within a year or so, I was like, man, I'm doing what I was dreaming about in college. But it's interesting because the goalpost always moves, right? And so you can achieve a level of success, and you're like, oh yeah, if I can be making this much a year, been doing what I love, like I'll make it. And then you kind of pass that, and and I think it's healthy to be like, what's next? Yep, kind of a thing. But I think it was pretty early on. Like I've always really enjoyed what I do. I feel like sometimes it's a double-edged sword because it's my hobby. And so I don't really have hobbies because my hobby is video. And so that puts a damper on thing. I need to get more hobbies. I need to do something. But I go through that even recently. Like my partner and I were talking and my business partner, and he just says, this is where we wanted to be 10 years ago. Do you remember like being like, because we've job hopped, we run the agency together. His name's Joel Robbins, great guy. But it's like, we are doing what we wanted to do. And it's great to kind of like slow down, take a deep breath and being like, I'm doing it. Like I'm doing the things, like maybe it's not at the level that you want to be and you're always wanting to improve and you want to do more, but it's like, man, like when you're a creative, like you can't ask for anything more than just like being able to just sit down and edit, create beautiful images. Like those things are fun. Those like are a big dopamine drop for me. And so it's like, I count myself very lucky that I get to do what is like a hobby or an interest to me as a full-time job. Like my kids always they ask, do I love what I do? And I think I'm very lucky to say I do. Like I get to do something creative. It's different all the time. Currently I work full-time at Pattern, and we are we have 200 brands, and we do kind of agency work for them, for their Amazon and their e-commerce listings. And I'm on different projects all the time. Every week it's something else. That's always different. And yeah, and I think I go through that phase of like, I'm doing what I want and be grateful for what I'm doing. Doing something over and over and over, like it can get mundane. Like I can imagine people that do the same job for 40, 50 years. Like, yeah, it can be mundane, but like I'm kind of lucky because it's different all the time. And so, yeah, I think I go through phases of like, I realize like, I'm doing it. But I've never felt like I've made it.
Yeah.
I've never felt like, hell yeah, I'm what I want to be. But I don't think that's realistic.
Not where you want to be, but like, I mean, you definitely answered the question. It was early on.
When you felt like it, right?
Yeah, when you're like, I'm actually like, I'm doing it,
Yeah. And I've been lucky to be kind of confident in that, and I really pushed myself in my 20s. Like I pushed myself to do and get better and learn things. And I'm like, yeah, I'm very lucky that I'm able to do what I'm doing for sure. Especially in creative. It's hard.
Yeah, and I do want to touch on that.
Yeah.
Two things. One, the 10-year mark.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, dude.
Yeah. The 10-year mark? Do you mean just like doing
You
it for
just
10
said,
years?
yeah, you said 10 years. That number, you said my partner and I have been doing it for like 10 years.
Yes.
Stuff.
Yes.
Essentially, like, and that journey that you talk about, like, hey, this isn't, where I pictured, because like, for example, the studio where we're at, I have like, literally, I'll go in the closet and I'll close my eyes and I'll be like, what am I trying to, and I really try really hard to physically feel what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
And when we got this place, I was like, holy shit, this isn't what I thought, but it's
You're
look
you're
at,
you're on track.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
and I think it's important to stop, like you just said, and acknowledge those little wins,
Yeah.
and acknowledge, and more importantly, not just acknowledge, but give thanks of
Yeah.
like, I'm thankful that I got a client that pays me X amount. I'm thankful that I'm
Yeah.
working on this project. I'm thankful that if you don't express gratitude for the opportunity,
Mm.
you won't appreciate it in the
Mhm.
moment. And then I think you might be entitled in the future because
Yeah.
you never took a moment to like appreciate what you had.
Oh, dude, I'm bad at that. I'm like so bad at that. And I think going back to social media, I think it's made it worse. And so even if you are living the life, like living your goals, you are, and it takes hard work, it takes consistency, it takes leveling up. And even if you are doing it, I think you're always like, well, I'm not quite there.
Yes.
And the ceiling's always higher. But I'm like, but yeah, it's exactly like if I look back at where I started and where I am today, I'd be like, hell yeah, I did it. Like I did it.
But it's not good enough.
It doesn't feel like
Yeah.
that. But I mean, but then I think there's some health. It's healthy.
Yep.
It's healthy to always be pushing and being motivated. Like this is the thing about creative. You always have to be adapting. Like, and I think that's for like marketing as well and other industries. But it's like with creative, you have to know what's in style, what kind of music is trending, what kind of editing styles, what's the new kind of look that people are doing for commercials and cinematography, and trying to adapt and learn those things, and just keeping your brain fresh because there's nothing worse than a creative that is stuck in the 80s or stuck in the 90s.
Yeah.
And not saying there's a lot, but I've worked with some old guns like the old guard, and I felt I'm like, this is outdated. Like this is outdated. And I'm sure there's some young guns that would look at me and be like, you do it like that's outdated. And the industry's changed. It used to be so focused on higher end, huge productions, $100,000 cameras. Like it's crazy what people are doing now, running their own little content agency with one or two people and creating beautiful stuff. Like people can create. I mean, that's a trending thing. It's been trending for about 5 years, I think. That is showing behind the scenes and how people are achieving like the commercial look or the style look or the fashion look at like in their back studio or in their living room. Like there's a couple guys I follow that I love their content because it's teaching me, but it's also like inspiring. Like, oh, you can achieve that, like setting up a backdrop in your living room.
Yeah.
And it blows my mind.
I know. And speaking of that, what blows my mind is with like AI, like sometimes I'll look at commercials and I'll like take screen grabs or whatever, and I'll and I'll use that as like my reference
Yeah.
because I'm like, I want to create that.
Yeah.
And what AI has taught me is how dumb I've become
Mm.
at explaining things.
Because you got a prompt,
Yeah,
right?
and then the more I study how to describe, it's like, we can use this first form can as an example. I can say, "Hey, make me make me an ad of this can that looks like Nike,"
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and it'll do something. But if I say, um, I want to make a commercial ad for an energy drink, here's a reference image. I want this to be shot on a Sony FX3. I want it to
Mm.
be a 45-degree angle
Interesting. You
overhead
actually
shot.
have prompts.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then you start like, I want it backlit. I
Yeah.
want like you because
You have to think through all the
and that's
details.
and that's what like um I'm fascinated by. And then, with your work, it just in general, right? Like I've realized how much of my brain I don't use to describe certain things and how important it is
Yeah.
to be able
Interesting.
to really describe what you want to see.
Yeah.
Um,
And that's a talent, dude, to be able to communicate your vision.
it's definitely like a learning curve. How are you guys using AI?
Oh my gosh. So we are trying. We are trying to stay on top of it. We just got a client that we are going to be creating some UGC AI stuff, right?
Sick.
Which I wanted to talk to you about
Let's do it.
because I'm like, I need up on this. But we are using it right now as a tool to almost fix things.
Yes. Okay.
So I'll give you an example. It was about a $50,000 shoot. We for one of our brands. We had them approve every shot. So they were calling in from back east. We had a full on shoot, about a 20 crew, I think, maybe a little less. Um, and we had 4 setups. We set builds. It was just huge, right? We got all the shots approved. We have these pill bottles that have the product, and we got it approved. We had about 4 shots like that, just like the standalone product in an environment, and then another one, and then we had our first edit go through. Actually, it was like version 5, but all of a sudden, somebody, one of the stakeholders, were like, "Oh, we need more pills in that bottle." And we're like, "Oh, you guys approved it. We
Yep.
could have put more on the day, but they didn't. But they didn't notice it. It was a detail that they didn't notice." And so what we did is like, okay, we can either get another day, like charge people to come, like pay people to come back, set up everything, and reshoot it. And then I was like, you know what? Let's just try to generate like the pills in it. And so we took a reference, ran it through ChatGPT, and what we did, I gave it references of like the pills, took pictures of the pills, and so it's like this is what it needs to look like. This is what it like and it just needs to be like 3/4 full. And damn, it did it. It did it really well. And then we took our motion guy, our After Effects guy. He took it, photoshopped it, and placed it in, and it saved us hours, dude. And it saved us money. It saved us money on something that we should have gotten on the day, but couldn't. And I don't want to say that in a way of like, oh yeah, we saved so much because we didn't have to hire another crew.
Yeah.
Because I look at AI as a tool, just like After Effects, just like Photoshop, just like Lightroom. It's a tool to achieve, and it's really damn cool tool. But it's not easy. Like that's another thing too. Is like it's taken over jobs, like in this specifically creative. I just don't see AI where it is now as a job replacer.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, it's just going to help the process, help the creative, make things easier. Like I'm excited about it, but that's how we're using right now. Right now, we're using it to, like, if we a cutaway shot, if something didn't work on set, of adding it in there with AI. And
I think it's cool. I don't know if I'm sure you know this, but like on Adobe Premiere, you can extend.
Yeah, we've done that. Scene extend.
Yes.
Yeah, so you can add another 3 seconds, and they will just
generate.
Yeah, generate it for you. And so it's like if somebody's walking by, they'll walk more, or if there's something static in the shot, it will just let it like linger a little bit longer. And that's awesome use of AI.
We did an Instagram story for K Swiss
Oh, cool.
using only images and like of a shoe, and we did a video of it zooming in with flower petals, like it was for their Valentine's Day thing, because they're like,
Yeah.
hey, can you make a story out of these images?
Yeah.
And I'm like, we gotta like, make it like smooth.
Yeah.
And when I saw the final product and it just zooms in right into the logo, and I was blown away because you can't tell that it wasn't a shot that just zooms right
Yeah.
into the shoe.
Sometimes it's just really good.
And but I like to save the ones that look like shit where you're like, oh, now there's 3 legs, you know?
Or it's like we put a hand, like put a bottle down and there's 6 fingers or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. Or like Billy turns into a corgi or
Yeah.
something weird. Like,
Well, dude, and that's the thing is like there's so much restriction still. Like you
Yeah.
have to just like you can't just put on a prop and spit it out. Like one thing that's really hard right now with AI is and this is one reason that we're just not using it to replace like photo shoots or anything is that it's not great on the details. It's not great on logos. It's not great on logos. It's not great on text.
Mhm.
And
Not on the caliber, but
so like it can usually get the bottle really well. Let's say if you're doing a product shot, supplement shot, but then it will screw up the text all the time.
Yeah.
And so that's where Photoshop comes in, and then you have to like if you add motion to the shot, you're gonna have to track it. Like there's like you can make it. I think keeping it simple,
Yep,
is the best way to do AI right now.
I also agree with you that like my tinfoil hat, it's over there, but like the tinfoil hat says that like we only have a few years left. But the positive version of me with AI is like it is a tool 100% to help you be better at anything you want to be.
Yeah,
Uh
takes away a lot of the legwork.
and it doesn't replace humans. It replaces lazy humans.
Yeah.
But it doesn't it doesn't it unlocks things you didn't know. Like with Sonia, I'll bring her up again. I just said use it for everything, and watching her use it now for design, and then we go from here to this other thing for videos. It's just like it's cool what time you can save, what money you can save. But the best part is knowing that you just have it as a backup. You don't rely on it.
Right. Like so the way I look at it, like how I see it kind of coming together eventually is AI artist or an AI editor or somebody that understands it, that will work right along with the motion graphic designer, along with the editor, along with the DP. Like I feel like it's going to be a really nice plugin to the process that we already have. The idea of that it's scary, I get it. Like I get the idea of like replacing jobs, and it's a huge what would you red button topic, I guess. A lot of people are worried. I get the fear. But it's I look at it in many ways as what we've seen in the movies. Film used to be silent films, like black and white silent films, and that was cinema. And then audio came. It changed the landscape. I don't know if you ever saw the movie. I think it won the Oscar for Best Picture, but The Artist, right? It was all about silent pictures. And then audio came through, and that like changed up the industry. It was the same thing when we went from black and white to color. There were always people that like, no, real film, real movies are shot black and white. That's how you should do it. That's the format. And then you have people pushing color. Same thing when we went from film cameras to digital. That is still a hot topic. A lot of people are like, well, it doesn't look the same. Films are best, but digital is just insane. Completely different look. And a lot of people, there are purists that will be like, yeah, you just don't get that film grain. You don't get that depth. It's different, right? But it's all these new tools that can make the process easier. And it's the same with like Photoshop. When Photoshop was released, everyone's like, well, like real photographers are dead. Like, and dude, like it's an art form. Like to be able to take a photo is an art form in itself, but then enhance it through Photoshop and being able to make it look better. You can go overboard. You can, but like it enhances art. Like, and I look at that as AI event, like it's enhancing what we do by helping us like solve problems. It's just a problem solver for me right now. I don't look at it like it will ever take our jobs. There will be things that will be replaced, like even now with podcast editing. 3 hour edit of a podcast, you used to have to take a multi-camera, click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Now you can run it through and it will, according to who's talking, will change the camera. Like that, I think that's amazing. Like, I don't know how anybody would look at that and like, oh, that's ruining our industry. I'm like, no, it's just making it better. It's making it easier. We can now get to the meat of the interview and create more content.
Create more
instead of
content.
spending hours and hours of just doing that first assembly edit. So
Mike,
it's exciting.
Sorry, Matt. I don't know why I said Mike.
Oh, Sophie, you can call me Mike.
What are some of your life philosophies?
That's a great question. I don't know if I've really thought about, like, would you give me an example of your, like, one of your philosophies? Because that's something that.
Here's a couple. Yes, here's a couple life philosophies. One is,
and you could cut it. Like, you can ask that, then you can edit it in a way that I answer.
Like, I believe that you should always be pursuing personal greatness. And whatever that definition is to you, for me, it's different than yours.
Yeah.
But it's similar because it's like personal greatness is making sure that I am doing the things I said I'm going to do, that I'm trying to be fit, that that I am being a good example, all the things that make me my best self. Like, what is that person? And you pursue that. That's personal greatness. That's a life philosophy that I live by.
I love that.
Another one is, so you can think of it, is the thing about just radical honesty. Because if you're honest, you never have to backtrack.
Yeah.
You don't have to think about, what did I say? If you're just like a straight shooter and you're honest with yourself, which is the hardest part. If you're honest with yourself, it's easier to be honest with other people in business and whatever. So you never have to backtrack. Those are some life philosophies.
So the one that sticks out to me, and it even kind of popped in my head to what you were saying as kindness. I think it doesn't cost anything to be kind. And I struggle with this sometimes. Like, when you're on a stressful set, you're trying to get stuff done. You only have a limited, amount of time, like a limited amount of time. Things can get stressful. We can get kind of our egos in the way, and we can get frustrated with people. But the thing that I feel like really has helped me in my career, and I think help people, is just taking a stand to be kind to people. Like I said, doing art is awesome, and doing what I do for a living, I count myself very lucky. But I know there's a lot of people that miss out because the way they treat others. And I think with artists, my business partner, Joel, he's like, creatives are crazy, like emotionally driven. We're emotionally driven. We are very sensitive. We can take things to heart. We'll take things personally. It's just how our brains are wired. And that's what makes us creative, I think, in many ways. But if you want to succeed, learn how to talk to people kindly. Use opportunities to reprimand, to teach, and learn how to give productive criticism, or like, if there is criticism, like, make it a teaching moment. Use these opportunities if somebody fails or isn't quite reaching what you want them to, the potential you think they have. Like, use it as a learning opportunity. I had one of my great Denver Riddle. He's one of the guys that I worked with and got me hired at my first job. And he was so good at building you up. Like, it didn't cost him anything. And the thing is, if you can be really good and strategic on just how you treat people and how you give response and how you give criticism in a kind way, it builds them up. For example, like, it's really easy, like, especially when I was young, like, to make an edit, spend hours and hours, and then somebody comes in and is like, oh, that sucks. Like, change this out.
Yeah.
But the way he did it, he would come over. He says, "This is looking good. This is looking great. Your edit's looking great." He's like, "How about this?" And coming up with ideas and make it more of a collaboration. But that's kindness. Like it's just treating somebody like they're not less than. They're learning. You're learning still. And that's the thing I've realized that I've really tried is that I'm not a perfect person. I'm not I'm not kind of I'm not, I get stressed, but it's like you put a little bit more effort of just being pleasant and being kind and treating those around you with respect. Especially in creative. Like I've worked on sets in LA that the vibe of the set was just bad. The creative director was an ass and everybody was on eggshells, trying not to mess up. And it's just not a great way to work. But the attitude, one person's attitude can change the day. Just the way you treat it, how you're responding and how you respond to stress. It's something that I continue to work on, but I'm just like, that's a philosophy of just, I like kind people. I'm drawn to kind people. And it's not a fake kind of kindness. It's not just because you have to, but it's like deep down, like treat people how you want to be treated. And I think that actually really will add to your success.
Dude,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
Thank you.
Um,
I suck at it, but I try.
well, honestly, that's a good place to wrap it up.
Yeah.
But
Hopefully this was good. I don't know how many interviews you've done, but it's fun. It's fun to talk.
I want you to know I look at all your stuff and I'm inspired all the time. I'm like, dude, that color is like beautiful. Those shots, those angles, or like the recent Ford or whatever truck commercial you just posted.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, like yes, like I want to be
Dude,
get it in that world.
that makes my day. Thank you.
And but I want you to I'm not the if I'm doing it, there's all these other people that are looking at it. So
we're sometimes in an echo chamber, dude. You too, man. You're freaking amazing. Like I've been talking to you about you with my team, and I'm just like his edits are great. Like I'm like I don't even think he has a background in editing. Like, but you just have that sense, that style, and it shows, man. Like it shows, and I'm proud, not proud, but I'm like happy that you share your stuff.
Thank you.
That's what you want. Like that, you want people to be inspired. Like you're saying, like you want to inspire people. First things first is like show them stuff. Like help with that creativity. And your stuff is great. Your team is great. Like I love how you guys are really leaning into AI and learning how to do it. Like I'm not sure how many companies here in Utah are doing this. Like at your kind of level. And I don't know if I'm missing it, but dude, you're killing it. Like you're killing it.
Well, hell yeah.
I love it.
Well, you're an everyday hero, Matt, and I appreciate you.
Well, dude, you're everyday hero. I don't feel like a hero, but you're a hero.